All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Echad Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops, a great millstone. I'm your brother, Rabbi Nap, coming out with a lesson. Lord's will, this is edifying to the Lord's elect. All right, let me just get into it. Let's see what's going on in the news. You know, they talking a lot. Russia hits Ukraine energy targets with hundreds of drones, missiles ahead of talks. It says Trump to meet with frequent foe Gustavo Petro of Colombia in wake of Maduro capture. That's gonna be good. You know, I was watching about the Epstein files. They got I watched Redacted. Redacted was saying how they had somebody reported of all types of shit they were doing, going into cannibalism, all that type of shit, man, is on that list, man. So why would he want to put you on a list? It's not just about women and kids and shit. It's some other satanic, ritualistic bullshit too. You know, that's what the elites are into, man. You know, you get so rich. They're saying, he said it in his show, that movie Hostel, that's actually true, that the elites go on islands and they have people there and they they kill them. You know, they do crazy things to people, man. Shit that you see in the movies is actually what's going on in real life. These devils are actually paying to go see shit like that, because when you have a lot of money, there's only so much that will excite you. You done traveled all over the world. This world's really not that big, man. You go to a couple places and you think, you feel like you've seen it all. It's all the same shit, you know? That's what Solomon was telling us. Let's grab that. Let's stop right there. Solomon was telling us, these elites, the life that they live and, all that's vanity, man. That's why they on the Epstein's list, because everything out here, man, it's just whack. There's only so many whores you could fuck. There's only so much money you could get, so many cars you could drive. That shit that's nothing. Esau got the whole world, man. It's just nothing, man. That's why you shouldn't covet anything in this world. They're showing you that shit don't mean shit. Especially when you gotta die at the end of the day. And what's worse for him is he's not gonna reach the point of everlasting salvation, immortality. He's gonna go into slavery, okay? He's gonna get his ass beat. So why don't he enjoy his time? Why don't he enjoy that? And then we're gonna put feet, when I say we, I'm talking about the nation of Israel. We're gonna be put feet, hands, elbows, knees. We're gonna be whipping this devil's ass. He got a horrible time coming ahead of him. I can't even get it. Let me grab it. Another precept just popped in my head. Let me go over here in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. The spirit's like a wind, man. Today's a beautiful day in Boston, man. 2nd Esdras 15, in verse number 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. So we're led as a flock to the slaughter. We're in a place where we could be put in situations like that movie Hostel. This is why we need to fear the Lord, man. He got people going through shit like that, man. And he doesn't do any iniquity. So if that happens to you, you deserved it. Especially when he got this word going out like this. So you rejecting his word, man, you're gonna find yourself in positions like that, man. Some of us that are gonna be forced to take that chip, man, he might torture your ass, man. He gonna have you in Guantanamo Bay. That's just known to torture people. Esau's known to torture you, man. So we're just like that. We got to get through all of that. That's the same thing as being as a sheep, as a flock to a slaughter. But the thing is, when you watch a sheep get slaughtered, they have what you call a Judas goat. When they go through the slaughtering process, the sheep actually follow the goat to the slaughter. They put him at the head. So you got to watch who you follow. It tells you in the book of Matthew, the 15th chapter. If the blind lead the blind, both of them shall fall into a ditch. So Esau got snares and traps, people that are led to lead you astray to the slaughter. Because he don't have any power over life and death, but he tried to create the most traps he can to make sure you fall into it. Let me grab this in the book of Romans 8. Romans chapter 8 and verse 36. It says, as it is written, actually, let's start up a little bit. It says, I'll start at 32. It says, he that spared not his own son, Romans 8, verse 32, but delivered him up for us all, talking about the Israelites. Okay, he died for the nation of Israel. How shall he not with him also freely give us all things? And he's given us all this wisdom. Okay, and that's going to continue to grow into something much more than just wisdom. He's going to give us this whole world, being joint heirs with him. It says, who shall lay anything to the charge of God's elect? So you can't lay anything to the charge of God's elect because he's the one who's, their righteousness is of him. He determines if they're going to be all right or not. It all belongs to the Lord. And you're predestinated to receive that type of mercy and grace. Romans chapter 8 and verse number 33. Who shall lay anything to the charge of God's elect? It is God that justifieth. So he determines if you justified or not. You know, like if a judge pardons you for all your sins, that's what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is doing. He's the one who can lay charge to you if the Lord is justifying you. Nobody. He's the judge. So no matter what Esau, the so-called white man, put these charges, these false charges, who cares? The Lord's going to justify us in due time. Okay. Romans chapter 8, verse 34. Who is he that condemneth? Yeah, who is he that condemneth? Who the hell are you? You ain't the Most High God. Esau thinks he's the Most High, so he thinks he can judge, and he can't. He gonna be judged. This nigga's a fugitive and a vagabond. He coming up against the people who are gonna arrest him. He's a fool. Romans 8, verse 34. Who is he that condemneth? It is Hamashiach that died, yea, rather, that is risen again, meaning he ain't dead. He was resurrected. Who is even at the right hand of God. God is the Most High God, the Father. Who also maketh intercession for us. So he's our lawyer. He's making intercession for us in the heavens. So when this nigga's trying to come down with great wrath, you can't lay any charge to him, to his elect. Good luck. It depends on how the Lord sees you in his eyes, if he's justifying you. Romans 8, and he's speaking intercession for us. So that's not talking about everybody. Paul's not talking to the whole world, okay? You read Romans, the first chapter. Let's just get it. Romans 1, I'll start at the top, points and 7. Paul, a servant of Yahushua HaMashiach, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, called to be an apostle, meaning set forth, separated unto the gospel of God, which he had promised afore by his prophets in the holy scriptures, concerning his son Yahushua HaMashiach, our Lord, which was made of the seed of David according to the flesh, and declared to be the Son of God with power, according to the Spirit of holiness, by the resurrection from the dead, by whom we have received grace and apostleship, for obedience to the faith among all nations for his name, among whom are ye also the called of Yahushua HaMashiach, to all that be in Rome, beloved of God, called to be saints, grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach. So he's talking to the Israelites in Rome, called to be saints. Saints are the Israelites, according to Psalms 50 and 5. Those who made a covenant by what's mean by sacrifice. The whole nation, the whole world didn't make a covenant with the Most High God by sacrifice. Okay. Romans 8, that's he's talking about Israel. He's talking to the Israelites in Rome, just like we're talking to the Israelites here in America. Modern day Rome 2.0. This is I'm not talking to the so-called white man. When I talk about slavery and putting his ass in the chains and locking him up, beating him up, that's when I'm talking about the so-called white man. But when I'm talking about grace and mercy and the covenants of the Lord, I'm talking to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, this nigga's the devil. This nigga running around killing people, building fucking concentration camps, talking about this he cares about the homeless. 16 people in New York died because of this cold front, so he want to hurry up with these he don't call it concentration camps. I think he calls it homeless encampments, so he can kind of clean up the streets, so they got somewhere to live. But that's for you, so-called Negroes, Latinos. It's actually for everybody. Because we're gonna be living in a gray state. We're gonna be just like that movie, the dude who got killed for making the movie Gray State. Okay, that's what you starting to see. People are gonna start. He's gonna build these camps, and he's gonna implement that MOTB. And if you don't take it, he's gonna lock your ass up. And a lot of y'all ain't gonna make it out of there. And as that's happening, wars are gonna be increasing. All these things are happening, and then the Lord's gonna come. And he's gonna destroy these niggas, and then we're gonna be destroying. Oh, we got a devil here. Okay. So anyways, like I was saying, he gonna be implementing that, and everyone's gonna be forced to take that chip. All right, and that's all part of biblical prophecy. It's the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 35. Who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach? Hamashiach meaning the Christ, the anointed, the Messiah. Who should separate us from the love of Hamashiach? That's what Esau wants to do. He don't want you loving the Lord. Because if he told you if you love him, you'll keep my commandments. He don't want you keeping the Lord's commandments. He wants you keeping his commandments. That's why he wants this digital watermark in your body. So he can, it don't matter who you serve at that point, you belong to him. You know? As long as you got that chip, you can call on any name you want. Because my name's inside of you. Just like the Lord got his name sealed in his elect, he gonna seal you with his name, which is the mark of the beast. You can't separate us from the love of God. There's nothing we could do to just say, you know what, I just hate Yahawashi and the Lord. There's nothing you could do. Once you receive it, you always love the Lord. That's why it tells you in John the 10th chapter that my sheep hear my voice and I know them and they follow me. They follow him because we always love the Lord. It was never, we never could be separated. That's talking about the elect of Israel. 2/3, y'all are walking astray. You're gonna follow the so-called white man to his death and your death. Because that's what he is. He is deaf. Okay? And no way you worry about everybody else's concerns and all of that. Don't worry, Esau, you're going to be the bottom of the earth, man. And no one's going to care about your plight. It tells you about that in Isaiah the 14th chapter. None hindereth. We're going to be whipping your ass and nobody's going to say anything about it. They're going to think it's a beautiful day. Just like they used to hang us up. Another black man died today. You guys went to work, drank your coffee, you were happy as hell. You even brought your kids to participate. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna hang you in front of everybody and laugh and joke and have wine and drink and be happy, be merry. It tells you in Psalms 137, happy shall he be that dashes thy kids against the stone. That's King David talking about your people like that. Okay, but nobody wants to, that's offensive to y'all. That don't offend me anymore. You know, at one point, we could see if this nigga was striving for righteousness. Hey, we could have let bygones be bygones, but that ain't the case. He's continuing to double down, triple down on his wickedness. You got Noah Harari talking shit about the Lord. So that's where I draw the line. You can talk all the shit about the so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American, but I draw the line with the Lord. You know, who's gonna stand up for the Lord? And that's what the Lord's starting to do. He's starting to raise men up, not no little boys. So no one's going to be able to separate us from the love of God. We're going to love him till all eternity. Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword, can all these things stop us from loving the Lord? No. We're not, none of this shit this nigga's doing, camps, MOTB, chips, murdering, killing, ICE agents, that shit don't mean nothing. That shit ain't going to stop us from loving the Lord. And that's what it's all about. He want to separate you. He trying to sift your faith. He want to take faith out of the world. He wants your faith to be in him. Because he's a narc. He's a devil. He's a demon. Okay? Romans 8, verse 36. As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. Yeah, we killed all the day long. You're getting put to death every single day, all the day long, man. This nigga got shit in your food, in the air. He's polluting the seas. The water's polluted. Your air, everything. Your medication, your pharmaceuticals, your petroleum-based pharmaceuticals. He'll cure one thing, the symptom that you have, but then he'll give you something else so he can make you come back to him. He got this, he got something. He wants you to he wants you to need him for some reason. He wants you to just always come to him. Okay? It tells you in Isaiah 10 and 20, we're no longer going to stay on those who smote us, talking about the so-called white man. The Israelites, the Lord's getting us out of that mindset to go trust this nigga to do anything for us. That's why we're looking into herbs, looking into finding ways to heal ourselves. Okay, because this nigga is a physician of no value. It says, Romans 8 verse 36, as it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. That's right, we are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. So just like the Lord was. He showed you how to be a sheep walking through the slaughter, man. He didn't cry about nothing. He didn't have anything in this world. He forsake this place, man. You niggas want to buy houses and shit. Fuck all that shit, man. Fuck all that shit. I just watched a video of this black dude was going through the hood. He's like, look at this beautiful house right here. That shit's $250K. And he said, you're paying for it. That shit ain't even made out of brick. He looks at the raw, I forgot, they're using, when you look at the material that he's using to build a house, it don't even add up to $250K. He's selling you some bullshit wood that should not even, it don't have all the shit that you need. He said you could light a cigarette, the whole shit'll burn down, man. You spending $250K. He's like, where's the brick at? Where's this? He said if your house wasn't built in 1950, you don't have a house, man. So even if you think you bought a house, if it was made after 1950, nigga, that shit's made out of nothing. You just got robbed again. Now then he wanna give you a 50-year mortgage. Okay, that's hell, man. That's oppression. They did the math on it, and it's like you paying an extra $1 million for something that shit ain't even worth any of that shit. Wow, this nigga, I was watching this video about Jake Paul. Jake Paul sitting on 600,000 acres, some crazy shit, man. This nigga boxes, he don't even do anything. He just got his jaw broke. What the fuck he doing? And then what is he doing? He's probably building a bunker. He's gonna die, man. No faith in the Lord. And I like Jake, you know. I think he might be Israel, but still, it don't matter if you're Israel anymore. If you ain't the elect, man, it don't matter. You're a heathen. If you ain't serving the Lord, you're not obeying him. You could get put to death for all I care, man. Okay, and that's still gonna be manifested. The Lord gonna put your ass to death. He's giving you all the Epstein files. He's showing you these niggas are wicked. You still gonna vote. The next people you're gonna vote for is a damn demon, Gavin Newsom or JD Vance, two devils. They probably on that list too, but they ain't mentioning these motherfuckers. You gonna see it too. Oh, then when they get the campaign, oh, he's on the list too. Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. I thought they said they saw the list and all this, so that everything they said was a lie. Yeah, the duck is not on there, no. The duck said, look at me, I'm still in the office. The Democrats used this against me and I'm still sitting in the office. He was trying to take me out and look he's tripling down on it. It's all a scam. It was trying to get me out of here. See, it didn't work. See, I'm good. But there's mad videos of him. He's sitting down at a modeling agency. They're bringing in 14-year-old girls and things like that. He's being a judge. They told a girl, put your hair up in a bun. She put her hair up in a bun. Oh, man. You know, some of these women, you know, your parents want you to be in the modeling industry. They'll sacrifice you, man. Bring you right up to the elites. Look at how beautiful my daughter is. That's these things. Just like Zohar Mamdani's mother. She was on the Epstein's list too. They're saying that nigga Epstein, that's Epstein baby right there. She was literally married to somebody named Epstein. It's just a coincidence that it's not the actual Epstein. His name was Mitch Epstein or some shit like that. It's all a coincidence. She said in the email, oh yeah, Jeff Bezos and Bill Clinton were there and this person was there. So that's incriminating. It tells you in Amos 3 and 3, can two walk together unless they be agreed? Anybody that's on that list is compromised. They need to be in no form of power and any type of authority. When you look at the news today, you don't hear any of this shit in the news. That shit don't even matter. It's like all this is being said, but look at the actions behind it. Ain't no action behind it. Because he wants it to be like that. So the Lord, what I'm trying to say is the Lord revealed to you that you're being ruled over by a bunch of pedophiles, cannibals, homosexuals, and just the scum of the earth. The scum of the earth are ruling over you. All right? And I pray that the Lord destroy them all. Burn them all up. Blow this place up. Iran, hurry up. Blow this shit up. Stop talking to this nigga, man. Press the button. Russia, shut the fuck up. Push the button. Let's kill everybody over here. Blow them all up. That's what they get. And that's what the Lord's going to do to this place. Romans 8:36 again. As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. And Paul's not just speaking out of his own mouth. Okay, you go to Psalms 44 and 22. He's going into the Old Testament. I forgot how many times he quotes the Old Testament. Okay, since y'all like talking about Paul all the time. Psalm 44 verse 22. Yea, for thy sake are we killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter. So he's just verbatim coming out of the Old Testament. Okay, Romans 8 verse 37. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. And that's talking about our Lord Yahweh Shai. We are more than conquerors through him that loved us. Even though we get killed all the day long, we're still here. We're here to conquer. Okay, it tells you in Daniel the 8th chapter, no, Daniel the 7th chapter, Daniel 7. The Lord ain't lied when he said all this. He gave us the victory. Daniel 7 and verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. So we're going to take the kingdom away from the so-called white man. He's going to give us the power to do so. And that's not even a hard thing for him to do. It's very easy for the Lord to do that. He told you that heaven is my throne and earth is my footstool. If something's underneath your feet, you got complete, it's submission to you. Okay, it tells you in Job 9 and 24, the world was given to this nigga. Okay, he didn't take it. He did take it by violence, but the Lord gave him the ability to do that. You can't do that on your own. You know, Alexander the Greek, he couldn't have done that by himself. He put the spirit on it. He took down 120 provinces. Macedonia, that was a small, the Greeks were fighting up against each other just like us. You see blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, they be fighting up with each other. And he raised them up and you see how Esau is. They fighting all the time. They got wars all the time. But he was still able to pull them out of that rut and go conquer some shit. Okay? So the same thing he gonna do with us. Romans 8 verse 37 again. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death nor life, for angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of God, which is in Yahweh Shai HaMashiach our Lord. So nothing's going to be able to separate us from the love of God, even though Esau wants to separate you from the love of God. Okay, he'll forsake you if you get that chip. He'll kill you, but he still ain't really forsake Israel, because he's still going to have mercy on the 2/3 if he's bringing them back in the kingdom, making them righteous. So that's not really being forsaken, but you're going to have to learn after death by pain. Let me grab this in the book of 2nd Esdras. Nope, this is the book of Sirach 41. But we need those new bodies. We need divine intervention. And the Lord's going to provide that in these last days. Sirach 41 and 1. O death, how bitter is the remembrance of thee to a man that liveth at rest in his possessions, unto the man that have nothing to vex him, and that have prosperity in all things. Yea, unto him that is yet able to receive meat. Yeah, that's right. What's death gonna do to us when we get changed, man? Okay? Nothing's gonna be, that's another enemy of ours, man, death. We're gonna have rulership over our enemy Esau and over death. Okay, that's complete, that's a complete salvation. You ain't even gotta worry about death anymore. Pains in your body, cancers, you know, things like that, man. You ain't gonna be dealing with any of that. That's something that the Lord is gonna take away from the nation of Israel. Oh, death is Sirach 41:2. Acceptable is thy sentence unto the needy and unto him whose strength faileth. That is now in the last age and is vexed with all things, and to him that despaireth and have lost patience. Yeah, you don't want to lose patience, man. It tells you in 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, man, this is why we don't faint. We got this ministry. This is supposed to sustain us, man. You should constantly check in with the prophets, whoever you listen to, and build yourself up, you know? Because every day's a battle, and if you're thinking about anything other than the Lord, man, you're going astray, even for that little bit of time. Always want to keep your mind focused on the Lord. Because this world, it'll just suck you up, man. Sirach 41:3, fear not the sentence of death. Remember them that have been before thee, and that come after, for this is the sentence of the Lord over all flesh. Yeah, everyone got to die, man. Don't fear not the sentence of death. This is a normal thing. Now, how you die, that's up to the Lord. That's up to the Lord. But we know we're getting closer to that point where we're gonna actually live. So why not put all your fruit in that basket? Sirach 41:4. And why art thou against the pleasure of the Most High? Yeah, the pleasure of the Most High. He say he's gonna do all of his pleasure. Okay. There is no inquisition in the grave, whether thou have lived 10 or 100 or 1,000 years. Yeah, so that's the Lord's pleasure. Let him. He say he's gonna do all of his pleasure. Hey, if you gotta die, hey, that's part of the Lord's will. Let the Lord's will be done. We've had our time in this world. We've done our pleasure. He allowed us to do it. Then he took us out of it. You know, let him be glorified. His son only lived down here for 33 years. You gave more time than the Lord. Hey, that's a blessing. That's a blessing, man. And plus, we at the end, so he wants you to see all this destruction that's coming. Iran's supposedly going to be talking. He said he's going to go see Gustavo, Colombia. I just read that in the news. You know, probably going to try to work out a deal. Who knows? It ain't going to work. He just did a deal with India. He sees Italy went over there, so now he wants to do some major deal with India. This dude's a fool, man. But everyone that eats his bread, they're deceiving him, man. Nobody likes this dude. And all around the world, when they sit down in meetings with themselves, they're talking about how they're going to destroy it. That's the conversations that are being had in the dark. But they come out on TV, smile, shaking his hand, taking pictures with him. But inwardly, they're thinking, how am I going to kill this dude, man? We got to blow these people up. I can't even buy Russian oil. He wants to. That's why he did the deal. He don't want India to go get more Russian oil, because that's how Russia funds this war. That Russian oil, but it's so cheap. Putin got it for the low. Why would you want to go get something more expensive? You know, oh, I'm gonna do 18% discount on the oil. Sounds good, but Putin's selling it cheaper than you. He's still getting the Russian oil. He's just doing it in a covert way. Ecclesiastes 41:5. The children of sinners are abominable children, and they that are conversant in the dwelling of the ungodly. Yeah, your children of sinners are abominable. That's ultimately Esau's children. Because it tells you in the book of Job that if his children be multiplied, it's for the sword. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword. Job 27. Let's go there real quick. Job 27. Job 27 and verse, I'll start at 12. Behold, all ye yourselves have seen it. Why then are ye thus altogether vain? This is the portion of a wicked man with God, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. So if his children, that's the heritage of oppressors. You know, so you think you're gonna impress people and think nothing's gonna happen to you? You got something coming for you. If your children be multiplied, the Lord said it's for the sword. Okay, a sword is to kill something with. So if your children be multiplied, it is for the sword. So that's the heritage of oppressors. And we know it is not just Esau who's an oppressor. Arabs, oppressors. Chinese, oppressors. If their children get multiplied, it is for the sword, okay? Nigga got 250 million people, or a billion. Nigga got 1 billion people, all of them are gonna die. Job 27, verse 15. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widow shall not weep. Yeah, your widow. What's a widow? A widow is a woman who's married to a man and the man died. Now she's a widow. Now she's not gonna weep over that man. Okay, that's part of the curses. It's like it tells you in Deuteronomy 30, verse 7, all these curses are falling upon our enemies. So your widows are not gonna care about your death. Okay? They're not gonna cry over you when they see you die. Though he heap up silver as the dust, Job 27, verse 16, and prepare raiment as the clay, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. Oh, look at that. He's gonna prepare all the silver and gold, and the just shall put it on. We're gonna take it. That's for us. It don't belong to him. So he's gonna be storing up these things in these last days, and the just shall put it on. And that's talking about the elect of Israel. Anyways. Ecclesiasticus chapter 41 in verse 6. The inheritance of sinners, children shall perish, and their posterity shall have a perpetual reproach. Yeah, they're gonna have a perpetual reproach. So when you look at somebody, you know how they look at you, so-called young black people. Oh, get the hell out of here. That's like a reproach. They reproach you. But he's gonna have, his children are gonna have a perpetual reproach. Get out of our neighborhoods. Okay, same thing gonna happen to you. Esau's gonna be bringing down the property value, man. You're not gonna want him around. Okay, and he ain't gonna be around. It's gonna be like just for a small moment, and then he's gonna be destroyed. Sirach 41 in verse number 7. The children will complain of an ungodly father, because they shall be reproached for his sake. That's right. They're gonna complain of an ungodly father. Esau, he's ungodly. And that's why you're being reproached now through the prophets, but it's going to trickle down to the heathen too. You're going to go back to being a base man in the earth. No one likes you, man. And the elites are supposed to be the best of your people. So that's the best you could get, is a pedophile out of the damn Edomites. A damn child molester. That's the best you could get. A damn homosexual out of these people, man. That's the best of their people. That's why they're the leaders in they're your presidents and your governors, because that's their best, and that's who they keep voting for. That's who they want. That's who they going out protesting about. That's who the Proud Boys love so damn much. Okay, that's what they like. They defend that shit. They like that type of shit. Now they gotta wear cameras. Duck said, yeah, I don't mind putting, but the cameras don't mean anything. There's plenty of police shootings, they kill you right on camera. So the Lord's just gonna be showing you more shit that they're doing. Or they'll put the camera, have it looking to the side so you don't see, oh yeah, well, I was in the wrong position, the camera was the other way, everyone's pointed the other way. They try to get around, but the Lord is exposing this devil anyways. Ecclesiasticus chapter 41 and verse 8. It says, Woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High God. For if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction. That's right. So if ye increase, it shall be for your destruction. Okay? So you can increase your riches, multiple kids, all of that, bigger house. None of that shit's gonna save you, man. You're gonna be destroyed. All right? The Lord hates you. So you already been separated from the love of God. He wants you to be with him. Misery loves company. That's Esau's theme. He wants you to be with him, forsaken of the Lord. No thank you. No thank you, man. You can have everything in the world, man. Take it all. Build your camps. Do all that shit. Sirach 41 and verse 9. And if ye be born, ye shall be born to a curse. And if ye die, a curse shall be your portion. And that's Esau. He was born to a curse. Okay, his curse is in, let me grab this. Book of Zechariah. This is Zechariah. I might be lying. It's so beautiful out today, man. It's 25 degrees, 23 degrees. Feels so good, man. So good. Zechariah. Is it Zechariah? Oh, yeah, I think it's Zechariah, the 5th chapter I'm thinking about. Zechariah 5 and 1. Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying robe, which is a chariot, which Esau calls a unidentified flying object or unidentified aerial phenomenon or a UFO. He calls it that. But that's a chariot of the Lord. This tech that the Lord has is beyond what this heathen could ever accomplish with his mind. He can go at Mach 6 speeds, hypersonic missiles, all of this, and he can never achieve the mobility of the chariots, man. They be moving like he can't even explain it, because they're spiritual. It's all spiritual. And he said unto me, Zechariah 5 and 2, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying robe. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it. Everyone that stealeth, it's talking about Esau coming into the house of the thief. Okay? He gonna get cut off by this curse right here. It tells you in what's that, Exodus, he that stealeth a man shall surely be put to death. And who is he in possession of? The nation of Israel. So he gonna die. And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. Yeah, he sweareth falsely. He's the accuser of our brethren. He's accused us for a bunch of things to the Lord. Oh, he's transgressing this law. It says, what's that precept? Where you give your neighbor drink so you could watch his nakedness, something like that. That's what he did with the nation of Israel. He causes you to go off, and he gives you the resources to go off. He'll put shit in your food. He'll have you transgress the law. So, that's Esau. That's what he does. He constantly he makes you transgress the law without even knowing it. That's why pushing the law, it's important too to push the law, of course. But you can't keep the law perfectly. Like the IUIC, they push that, but you have no control over everything, man. Even your clothes, wearing mixed fabrics, that's against the law. Okay, if you try to keep the law, you gotta keep every single law, and you can't. Even your fringes, my fringes are 99.9% cotton. then he got something synthetic in there just to defile it, even so your clothes are defiled. Okay? So we need the Lord in order to keep our laws, statutes, and commandments. This nigga can't be in any form of authority because he's going to defile it. He's the head of your water treatment program, and that's why your water's defiled. He's the head of all the textiles and things. That's why your clothes are defiled. He's the head of the food's defiled. That's why Esau has to go. He's the head of your medication, your all of this whole world. Every top position, a damn Edomite is there. So he needs to be taken down, past the floor, into the grave, into a pit. That's where he belongs. Okay? Because he's a low-level man. Zechariah 5:4, I will bring it forth, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. The house of the thief is the so-called white man Esau Edom, because he steals everything that he has. It tells you in the book of John 10, what's that, John 10:10? The thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy. Spiritually, that's talking about Esau. That's all he can do. You think he's doing a deal with India? He robbed them just now. Oh, I'm giving you 18% off or something that he probably stole from Venezuela anyways. He cutting off Cuba right now from receiving any Venezuelan oil. So they're going through it right now. So he thought of all this. Okay, if I take down Maduro, I can besiege Cuba. Okay, and if I can besiege Cuba, then I'm gonna go talk to Gustavo in Colombia and see what he wanna do. Because that's what he likes to do. That's what he's gonna do with the elect. He's gonna get a lot of the people that's around us, other people that taught the word and things like that, and he's gonna make them a public disgrace just so you could give up your faith. But that's why no matter what you do, man, you gotta take your death cheerfully if that's the Lord wants you to do. Because it's all a test. Put you in jail. The Lord tells you in Revelation, the 2nd chapter, be faithful unto death and I'll give thee a crown of life. You got to trust into these things. Okay? Zechariah 5:4, I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And that's Esau Edom. He sweareth falsely by his name. First of all, he's just a blasphemous person. His whole Catholicism, modern day Christianity is false. Okay? None of the people who follow those religions keep the law, statutes, and commandments. They don't practice the righteous acts. They follow Christmas, which is a Babylonian custom the Lord told you not to do in Jeremiah, the 10th chapter. He got Christmas trees in Jerusalem. He got mosque in Jerusalem. Okay? Half crescent moons and shit like that. Those are all the creation. You're supposed to be worshiping the Creator. So these heathen got to get the hell up. The Lord got to clean all these heathen up out of that land. Okay, he wants to build cities in Jerusalem. Call it New Gaza, New Rafah. Okay, so we're getting close to that time. The Lord he don't even have his people over there. You think this nigga gonna build the Trump Towers in Jerusalem? Okay. That's his pride telling him these things. These are signs that he's almost through. He's almost done. His pride is exceeding. It's his purpose now. He's exceeded his purpose. He didn't exceed. There's a certain measure that there's a cutoff point where the Lord's just gonna have enough of this too. But the Lord shows you that he's long suffering. He's a long-suffering power, man. That's what he showed you. He watches him every single day. And he's privy to information. We don't even know what he's doing. And we know he's ramping it up on the wickedness because of the propaganda machine that's going on. He does sacrifices. You know, some of these people, these people who get caught up by ICE, man, you don't know what he's doing with these people, man. And the Lord can give you up to all of that if you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing in this time. Anyways, Zechariah 5:4, into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and stones thereof. Then the angel that talked with me went forth and said unto me, lift up now thine eyes and see what is this that goeth forth. And I said, what is it? And he said, this is an ephah that goeth forth. He said, moreover, this is their resemblance through all the earth. That's pretty much it. But that curse is talking about those chariots. That's a curse to him, but it's a blessing to us. That's our salvation, and that's his destruction. Ecclesiasticus 41, verse 9 again. And if ye be born, ye shall be born to a curse. And if ye die, a curse shall be your portion. Yeah, this is the portion of a wicked man. Okay? The heritage of oppressors, you're going to be destroyed. Ecclesiasticus 41:10. All that are of the earth shall turn to the earth again. So the ungodly shall go from a curse to destruction. That's right. So shall the ungodly go to a curse to destruction. All that returning to the earth shall return to the earth again. Genesis, the 3rd chapter, says that. Genesis 3. Genesis chapter 3. That's what he said to Adam. Genesis chapter 3 in verse number 17. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. So we're still suffering from this curse. Okay? Look at how much we have to toil in order to put a plate of food in front of you. You got to work your ass off, man, to eat nowadays, man. And it's going to get harder and harder. Genesis 3, verse 18. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground, for out of it was thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. That's right. For sweat of your brow, man, you're gonna have to work hard all the days of your life until you return to the grave, man. So all that retirement bullshit he talking about, man. This nigga's a liar, man. He's trying to push the retirement age up, and then when you retire, he's trying to take away your Social Security. Then you got to rely on his 401k, but you going to war with everybody. The stock market going to crash, man. So you ain't got no retirement. Your 401k is in serving the Lord. If he wanted to deliver you out of this, you either want it all or you want nothing. Okay, it's very simple. There's no middle ground. Okay, let me grab this in the book of Revelation, 3rd chapter. Revelation chapter 3. In verse number 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou were cold or hot. So there's no middle ground. I would thou were rather cold or hot. You can't be in the world, and 1 foot in the world, 1 foot in this truth. Saying you love the Lord, you ain't keeping his commandments to the best of your ability. You know, he got you teaching, but you lackadaisical with how you work for him. But you on fire to go work for the so-called white man. You ain't missed a day when it come to him. You got mad PTO time. You got... Ah, man, you on time when it come to the so-called white man, boy. When it come to the Lord, he on the back burner. You know, that's cold. That's lukewarm. Revelation chapter 3, verse 16. So then, because thou art lukewarm, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Okay, so that's spewing. When you spew something out your mouth, man, that's a violent. It's violent. You know. When I think of this precept, I think about how. Think about Israel, the true Israelites that were in the land. He spewed them out of that land by bringing other heathen nations against them to destroy them out of that land, making them run. Making them get the hell up out of there. They weren't serving them right. So the same thing's going to happen to you. Okay? You don't want to be hot or cold. The Lord got something for your ass. He's not playing with you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Taking this word lightly, okay. The time that window's getting closer and closer, it's coming to an end. Ain't going to be no more joking around. You're gonna learn who the Lord's elect are and who He's not dealing with. When these judgments, when these different things are coming to pass, like these famines and things like that are around the corner. He said, if you love me, feed my sheep. Sheep need to be fed, man. Sheep need to be fed. And if you ain't feeding the sheep, man, that means you don't love them. Revelation 3, verse 17, because thou sayest, I am rich and increase with goods. That's what's wrong with y'all. And have need of nothing. Yeah, you ain't going through nothing. You're too damn comfortable. And knowest not that thou art wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked. That's right. You're miserable, man. You should be. You should understand that. If you understand the circumstances that the nation of Israel is in, you would want to try to figure out a way to get out of that circumstance that you're in. All right? You got a bunch of pedophiles and sex trafficking rings around you. The only way to stop all of this is bringing the word out. Your wives, your families have to walk and navigate this trap of a country. All right? So this word is going to keep a lot of people from stumbling, falling into the snares of the devil. Sirach 41 in verse 11. The mourning of men is about their bodies, but an ill name of sinners shall be blotted out. Yeah, ill name of sinners shall be blotted out. It tells you in the book of Revelation 22. Let's grab it. That your name should be taken out of the book of life. It's not like the Lord has a book that He's just going to erase your name out of it. It's just, it's like metaphors of you not being part of the elect. Okay? And the sinners, they ain't part of this thing, man. Let me grab this in Revelation 22. They ain't part of this. Revelation 22. And this is 22. Revelation 22. Forgot where it's at. I'll start at, you know what? Let me just start at 10. Revelation 22. Revelation 22. And I'll start at 10. And he saith unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophets of this book, for the time is at hand. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. So pretty much everybody's in their lot, man. Especially in these times, we're starting to see people getting more fine-tuned and to do what they're supposed to be doing, being a demon or whatever the hell you're about. This is who, when people show you who they are, man. Just believe it, trust it. You got it. This is the time that we're in. And behold, I come quickly. Revelation 22 and 12. And my reward is with me, to give every man according to his work shall be. So give every man according to his work it shall be. So you reap what you sow with the Lord. All right. But if He's giving you a lot and you ain't do nothing with it, then you know the scriptures do talk about him being an austere man, him giving you something and you hiding your talent in a napkin. He calls that a wicked servant. And you're going to have your portion with the sinners and the unbelievers, which is destruction. Revelation 22 and 13, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are all they that do His commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. So that's why we tell you to keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability so you can enter into the gates of the city, which means to pretty much come into this truth. dwelling into the secret place. Okay, not everyone was privy to going into, the high priests were privy to go inside the temple, you know, in the Holy of Holies. That wasn't for everybody. But now the Lord is calling his elect to bring him into that secret place with him, which is this knowledge, this truth. Revelation 22:15, for without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. That's right. Outside of this truth, that's all there is out there. All right? People that are outside of serving the Lord, murderers, whoremongers, you know? Dogs, the Lord called them. All right. I think was that the precept I was looking for? No, I think I'm thinking about Daniel, the 12th chapter, as a matter of fact. Actually, let's keep going. I, Yahushua, have sent my angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright and morning star. So his angel is talking about is a messenger to the churches. It's ultimately talking, the angels are the messengers, okay, the prophets. He said he's the root and the offspring of David, meaning he didn't come from just the mother Mary like Esau likes to teach. Okay. And he's the bright and morning star, meaning the light bearer. Just like it says in Isaiah, the 14th chapter, O Lucifer, son of the morning. It just means light bearer. Okay. And the Spirit and the bride say, come, and let him, Revelation 22:17, that hearers say, come and let him that is athirst come, and whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely. The water of life is this word. Take it freely. Freely as you received, freely give. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book, if any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in the book, in this book. So you can't add or subtract from the scriptures, okay, like Esau does. He adds and subtracts, puts his name in places, puts his understanding where he think it fits him, best fits him. So he gonna get every plague in this book. Revelation 22:19, and if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book. That's right. So this is how you get written out of the book of life. Being profane, being abominable, taking a bribe, teaching falsehoods. He which testifieth these things saith, surely I come quickly. Amen. Even so come, Lord Yahushua. The grace of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach be with you all. Amen. So that's what it says. Ecclesiasticus 41 and verse 12. Have regard to thy name, for that shall continue with thee above 1,000 great treasures of gold. Your name goes into your reputation. You got to have regard for that. Okay? And you want a reputation of serving the Lord. All right? Just like it tells you in 2nd Esdras, the 2nd chapter, that those who stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord, those are the people that were crowned. Daniel, the 12th chapter, tells you that the stars who turn many to righteousness, okay, that's talking about the elect of Israel. Have regard unto thy name. Ecclesiasticus 41:13, a good life have but few days, but a good name endureth forever. And look at the men who served the Lord. Look at all the prophets. Look at Abraham. Look at those who kept faith. Read Hebrews, the 11th chapter, for an example. We got a great cloud of witnesses according to Hebrews, the 12th chapter. Hebrews 12 and 1. Ecclesiasticus 41 and verse 14. My children, keep discipline and peace, for wisdom that is hid and a treasure that is not seen, what profit is in them both? A man that hideth his foolishness is better than a man that hideth his wisdom. That's right. A man that hideth his foolishness is better than a man that hideth his wisdom. Okay? You want to be known for being wise, man. Not being a fool, even though a little folly, can destroy your name. That's why you want to be careful of these things. Okay. Ecclesiasticus 41 verse 16. Therefore be shamefaced according to my word, for it is not good to retain all shamefacedness, neither is it altogether approved in everything. And being shamefaced is pretty much being humble too. You gotta have some form of shame, especially if all Israel have sinned, according to Daniel the 9th chapter. So that pride, man, you gotta keep that in check. Sirach 41 and 17. Be ashamed of whoredom before father and mother, and of a lie before a prince and a mighty man. You'll be ashamed of whoredom. We played the harlot with the Lord. And we're ashamed of those things, and that's why we're going to bear the indignation of the Lord, according to Micah 7 and 9. Sirach 41 and 18. Of an offense before a judge and ruler, of iniquity before a congregation and people, of unjust dealing before thy partner and friend. So in all of these, be ashamed of these things. And of theft in regard to the place where thou sojournest, and in regard of the truth of God and his covenant, and to lean with thine elbow upon the meat, and of scorning to give and take. So there's different situations. Keep your elbows off the table, man. Should be ashamed, man. Have some decorum about yourself. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Let me look that up. Am I done with 41? There's a couple more. I'm gonna end it. This word decorum. Define decorum. Let's see what it says. Behavior in keeping with good taste and propriety. Etiquette, yeah. That's what you want to have about yourself, man. Sirach 41 and 20. And of silence before them that salute thee, and to look upon a harlot. Yeah, be ashamed to be looking upon a harlot. Okay. And to turn away thy face from thy kinsman, or to take away a portion of it, or a gift, or to gaze upon another man's wife. Yeah, be ashamed when you look upon another man's wife. You want to have discipline. Or to be over busy with his maid, and come to not near her bed, or of upbraiding speeches before friends, and after thou hast given upbraid not. Yeah, don't be over busy with his maid, man. You gotta work with another man's wife, man. Just don't be doing too much, man. Have some shamefacedness about you, man. Yeah, I'll help you, but I gotta keep it moving, man. I'm not trying to be seen with you. Okay? That's the same approach you gotta be in this world, man. You don't want to be doing too much with you want to be doing what the Lord wants you to do, and that's pretty much it. You gotta use the world, but not abuse it. Okay. Sirach 41 and 23, or of iterating and speaking again that which thou hast heard, and of revealing of secrets. I mean, that's plain, man. Revealing of secrets. Someone trusts you with some type of, keep your mouth shut. Learn how to have that discipline. So shalt thou be truly shamefaced and find favor before all men. So that's one way to find favor before all men, man. Keep having discipline over yourself, man. But ultimately, being humble. Okay? You gotta be humble in this thing, man. Can't be all over the place with everybody, and that's not how you gotta. The scriptures is basically trying to tell you to keep have a good name. All right, that's basically what that's talking about. But I'm gonna end it here. Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakha Kwadash. Shalom, Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharala.